Cool guys, so welcome back to another video. In today's video I am talking about what I watched in April. Full disclaimer, I'm wearing a beanie just because my hair is terrible. It's quite a nice day actually, it's quite a hot day as well. But my hair is just so bad, so I was like, I'm gonna wear a beanie, so deal with it, just saying. That's why I'm wearing a beanie. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I know the last one I did of these for March, what I watched on March video was super long. So I'm hoping this one's not going to be as long. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so firstly, I watched Ozark Season 3. And my word, Ozark is incredible. It is absolutely insane. It is so well made. I love it so much. Season 3 in my opinion was hands down the best season. It's such a good series filled with so much tension, with drama, and the two leads, Jason Bateman and Laura Linney, are so good. They're like the two lead characters I would say in the show. They are so good together. Their chemistry as a couple in the series is fantastic, and just the tension in the show is so great. It's such a good series. It's definitely up there with being one of my favorite series on Netflix I think I've ever seen. It's fantastic. I absolutely love Ozark. So that was really good. I highly recommend watching Ozark if you have not yet seen it yet. It is very dark, it gets quite hectic, but it's flipping cool. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give Ozark Season 3 a 4.5 stars. It was really good. Some episodes felt like they dragged on a little bit, but for the most part, it was flipping fantastic. And then next up, I finished Bojack Horseman. And now this series, this was a good one. This was so good. On the surface, the show may look like a silly, goofy animated show with stupid characters and funny jokes, but underneath that, it is super psychological, super deep, tackles mental illness, it deals with the whole thing on like what fame can do to a person, and the show moved me so incredibly much in so many episodes. I honestly can't remember where I've been this sort of deeply moved by a show, like taking away their sort of entertainment value and actually being moved by a show, and BoJack Horseman did that for me. It was so moving, and like the final season, I was kind of worried because up until the final season, the show had been absolutely fantastic. And I know with animated shows, they sometimes, if they sort of drag it out too much, the endings can sometimes feel a bit weak and random. But with BoJack Horseman, they just the last season was one of my favorite seasons, hands down. I'm not going to say any spoilers because I do want you guys to go watch it. It's a fantastic show. It really is. I would honestly say it's one of my favorite Netflix shows of all time so far. And the way that you somehow can relate or feel sympathy for a horse in the show is crazy. I still like I battle with that a bit, but that just goes to show how well made the show is and how well it was directed and written. So yeah, definitely go watch BoJack Horseman. I want to do a video essay on it as well, but yeah, until then, go watch it and really enjoy it because it is fantastic. BoJack Horseman, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 for the last season. It hit home and it was just great. Really good show. Okay, and then I watched a really great short film called Rebooted. It's pretty much about this old skeleton stop motion puppet who obviously is not getting any work now because CG is in the forefront of the film industry and visual effects and stuff like that. So he's looking for work the whole time in the film. And he ends up meeting other characters who are in a similar space. It's a very clever idea for a short film, and it is absolutely fantastic. The film was also really well made, so there's real life footage throughout the short film, but then on top of that and overlaid on that is the stop motion figure. So it looks like classic stop motion in a modern film, if that makes sense. And it's really well made, really well directed as well, and yeah, you feel so sympathetic for this character throughout the whole thing. It's really great, absolutely fantastic. Because it's on YouTube and a short film, I'm gonna leave it in the description. It's only 12 minutes, go check it out, flipping good. Okay, then a blast from the past, I watched Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I used to love this flipping movie so much. I watched it again this month, and firstly I was kind of shocked at how many jokes there were that I didn't pick up on when I was a kid. Some pretty hectic jokes, I won't lie. It was quite funny. But yeah, I don't know what it is about British humour. I feel like they hide dirty jokes way better than Americans do in their kids' films. I don't know, but it was really funny. I flipping enjoyed it. I love Aardman, the people who make these sort of films. Such a great company. I really wish I'd make more films, but Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were Rabbit is absolutely fantastic. Flipping enjoyed it. I loved it, and it was really cool watching a movie from my childhood, which I haven't watched in like so long. Um, so yeah, I thought it was great. Okay, then I watched another short film on Netflix called Anima. And this short film was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who's obviously flipping fantastic. And then it stars Tom York. And the short film was released when Tom York was releasing a solo album project of the same name. And yeah, the short film it's almost like a music video, but it's more than that. It's very like immersive, and it's quite trippy, but it's really beautiful as well. The way I interpret the short film is I think that it's like a commentary on like work and society, and the way we sort of like confined to our jobs and our work and stuff like that. And as a creative or as a dreamer, you can't really sort of express or live in that fantasy because you're stuck in this routine and cycle. That's the way I interpret it. I'd be very curious if you've seen the film, what you think of it. But it's really, really good. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I watched it the first time and I was like, okay, that was really weird, and I don't really know if I liked it or not. But I've watched it about 5 or 6 times now, I think, and it is flipping good. And I've learned to appreciate it way more than what it was on my first viewing, which is often the case when I rewatch movies. So check out Anima. I gave Anima a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's flipping good. Love it so much. Okay, then I watched Midsommar. Oh my word. Midsommar was crazy. This was crazy. So, yeah. Where do I start with this one? So my first mistake was probably watching this at around like 12:30 in the evening after I'd edited a video. And it only finished like probably around like 3 in the morning. So that was my first mistake, and this movie was flipping weird, and it's crazy. It gets super like twisted and dark and strange, and I almost don't want to recommend it, but I thought it was interesting, if that makes sense. And also like I gotta say this, the hair and makeup, the cinematography, the production design, the costumes, that stuff was absolutely beautiful. It was incredible. And then also Florence Pugh's performance. I don't know why she didn't get more recognition for this last year. She was so good in this film. She was so good. So in a way, like, I do kind of want to recommend you watch it for the other stuff, but it is a very weird, strange, dark, twisted, weird movie that I'll probably never rewatch again. But it did have aspects in the movie which I did really enjoy. The story is strange, and it's definitely not going to be for everyone, but I think if you are into more sort of horror films, you might get something out of it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more in the film, but there were aspects of the film I flipping did enjoy as well. So yeah, I'm going to let you decide if you want to watch it or not. I'm not going to necessarily recommend it. Alrighty, and then next up I watched Extraction, which is the new Netflix film starring Chris Hemsworth. Look, my expectations for this film were super low before watching it, and it surprised me. I really actually enjoyed it, and the action and the cinematography were really, really good. It is a very strong movie. There are definitely aspects of the film that I wish they sort of focused a bit more on, but if you are going into this film just wanting an action film with Chris Hemsworth, you are in for a treat. It is really good in that regard. I did just personally wish that there was a bit more focus on the story and the characters. I did just sometimes feel like it was a sort of action film getting from point A to point B, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. But it is really, really good, and I highly recommend you check it out. I gave Extraction a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, and then we watched a Netflix series called Midnight Gospel. Oh man. So I've chatted to a few of my friends about the show, and we've all had sort of different opinions on it. It is so weird. So weird. So the great thing about the show is that it was animated by Pendleton Ward. He's the same guy who did Adventure Time. So it's got a very similar style and in that regard. And it's really, really cool. I love the visuals of it. Really great colors. The animation was beautiful as well. I loved it. It's like it got a similar feel to Adventure Time, but it's also really different, which I liked. And the really unique thing about this show is that it's taken podcast elements from Duncan Trussell's podcast series, and they've made them into episodes. And his podcasts are super strange. They're super weird. I don't listen to them because they're just so random and odd. But it does make for a really unique, interesting looking and sounding show. I think there's only 6 episodes of the show, and they're around 20 minutes each. So it is definitely worth checking out if you're into it. Definitely not going to be for everyone, I do understand that, but it could be something you enjoy. So maybe check it out. I gave Midnight Gospel a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, then we watched the new Hugh Jackman film, which I've been really excited for, called Bad Education. And this film, like I said, it's in this review on Letterboxd, but I think it's going to be one of the films like that will be remembered in 2020, one of the standout films. It is a really, really, really good film. I definitely think there's a high chance that Hugh Jackman could be nominated for his performance in this film. Really, really great film. It's based and inspired by a true story, which is hectic because the film, yeah, it's crazy. Highly recommend checking this out. I don't want to say anything about it in case you don't know what it's about. Go in like open-minded and not really knowing much and see if you enjoy it. Really, really good film. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I would have gotten a 5 out of 5, but I did just feel like there were some sort of places in the film that just dragged on a bit longer or could have been condensed slightly to make the film flow a bit better. But besides that, I thought it was a really, really strong film. Also, Alison Janney was in this, and she's also one of the lead characters, I would say, and she also was fantastic in this film. So good. So definitely check it out. I highly recommend Bad Education. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Cool, and then I've been watching Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. I will be honest, the first like 6 episodes were like, they were okay. Like typical standard Star Wars Clone Wars stuff. But flip, it's now getting absolutely insane. It's like sort of parallel now to the events of Revenge of the Sith. And it is absolutely insane. When all the episodes are out, I'm definitely going to make a cut of like the episode 3 Revenge of the Sith film and then these episodes like intertwined, if someone doesn't do it before me, because it is insane. And the attention to detail to the story, the dialogue, like the writing of the episode, the action sequences. So I've been loving Star Wars Clone Wars. I haven't finished it yet, and I don't normally talk about a show if I haven't finished it yet for that month. But I think because Star Wars Clone Wars, it's sort of in a way tying things up and wrapping things up. I think there's only 2 episodes left, 2 or 1, no, 2 or 3 I think. But I just wanted to talk about it because I'm absolutely loving these last couple episodes so much. So definitely check out Star Wars Clone Wars if you are a Star Wars fan. Then we've also watched 3 seasons of The Office. During the lockdown period, during dinner, me and my family have been watching The Office. So we've been watching like 2 a day. So we've been getting through them quite quickly. We've watched 3 seasons though, and it's been absolutely awesome. I mean, season 2 and 3 are arguably like the best seasons in my opinion. So it's been absolutely awesome. Yeah, I've loved it. I've watched The Office like the whole way through a couple of times now, and rewatching them again, like you always pick up on new things. It's also such a well-written show, so I've absolutely loved The Office. But I'm sure you probably all expected that. Okay, and then I watched a comedy special on Netflix, Middleton and Schwartz, which is an improvised comedy special by these 2 guys, and it was flipping fantastic. So good. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the best stand-ups I watched in a long time. And it's not like overly grotesque or crude like a lot of comedy specials are these days. And these guys improvise the whole thing as well. And there's moments like where they sort of mess it up a little bit and they laugh at each other. And it makes for a really entertaining and authentic show. So I absolutely loved this comedy special. There's 3 different episodes in it. And it was great each time. I definitely had a favorite one, but they were all really good. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I loved it so much. I really enjoyed it, and it's something like I don't usually revisit comedy specials, but I can definitely see myself revisiting this one. I don't really know why, but I think it is just because I enjoyed it so much and I kind of want to pick up on stuff I might have missed the first time around. So yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. It's really good. Okay, and then lastly, I watched this series called Normal People, which is based on a novel by the same name by Sally Rooney. I think that's the author's name. And it follows these 2 characters pretty much from the end of high school till like the end of university. And It's really, really moving. It's really, really touching. There's lots of sex scenes. Like, I was surprised actually at how many there were, because I could just feel like they were all the time. So just bear that in mind if you're going in to watch that. But it is a really touching and moving show. The two lead characters were fantastic. Seriously, seriously good. It is a really moving show. It's got really happy and joyous moments in it, but also really sad and like sort of depressing moments. Yeah, like I was very sad in a couple of episodes because I felt like, yeah, like you kind of want to like fix things, but you can't because it's not real and it's about these characters. But yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. It is a good one. It is a really, really good one. And it was a bit of a surprise to me because it sort of came out of nowhere. I saw an article on Facebook about it and then I decided to watch it. And it was really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's good. It's really good. The cinematography in it as well is like, it's so good. I mean, for a TV show, it's excellent. It's so fantastic. So I definitely highly recommend watching that. Cool, and then there were a couple of shows I started this month, which I'm not going to talk about because I'll talk about them when I finish them. But yeah, there were some really cool ones I started this month, which I'm excited to talk about in the future. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video of what I watched in April. Let me know what was the best thing you watched in the comments down below for this month. I'd be very curious to know. I kind of wished I watched a few more documentaries this month because I don't think I watched any actually. I started some but I haven't finished them. So yeah, if you have any good documentaries as well, recommend them in the comments down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope every single one of you are doing well and you're staying safe and you're staying healthy. Please keep well, please keep healthy, and thank you so much for watching once again. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.